واضح ان انتوا الزباين الوحيدين النهارده. طب احنا ممكن نبدأ وهم لما يجوا نعيد من الأول عادي يعني. ما تقولش الهم. انزلي هات الناس من تحت اقفشي. نبدأ مع بعض. 1 2 3. ما تقولش الهم وما تخافش، ربنا موجود، ده إلهك حي ما بينامشي وملوهش حدود. ما تقولش الهم وما تخافش، ربنا موجود، ده إلهك حي ما بينامشي وملوهش حدود. ايه ده الباب مفتوح، بابه مش مسدود، ويا ريت تناديله ولما تجيله الشوك هيشيله وهيبقى ورود، ربنا موجود. ما تقولش الهم وما تخافش، ربنا موجود، ده إلهك حي ما بينامشي وملهش حدود. ما تقولش الهم ما تخافش، ربنا موجود، ده إلهك حي ما بينامشي وملوهش حدود. يا سلام يا هناك طول ما هو وياك، عايش جواك وعليك بيسود، لو كان مسؤول عنك على طول الهم يزول والفرح يعود، ربنا موجود. ما تقولش ده إلهك حي ما بينامشي وملوهش حدود. ما تقولش الهم وما تخافش، ربنا موجود، ده إلهك حي ما بينامشي وملوهش حدود. لو ماسك فيه ومسلم ليه عمرك وعليه على طول مسنود، شرك يمحيه عمرك يبنيه، حالا تلاقيه ما بقاش مهدود، ربنا موجود. ما تقولش الهم وما تخافش، ربنا موجود، ده إلهك حي ما بينامشي وملهش حدود. ما تعولش الهم وما تخافش، ربنا موجود. ده إلهك حي ما بينامشي وملهش حدود. تعيشوا وترنموا.
Okay, we're gonna start. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. It was a long day today for me. I don't know if you felt like that too. Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about parenting in action. And what I mean by that is basically we're gonna talk about the different parenting styles. But before we start, I want you guys to kind of get in the mindset about parenting, okay? So first I want you to think about what were your parents like growing up? So think about your own childhood. Think about your own parents. Think about what kind of parents were they? And I have some questions up here you guys can consider when you're thinking about it. So what happened when you and your parents disagreed about something? And were you allowed to ask questions? Or what happened if you asked a question? Or said why? How were you disciplined, if you were disciplined? Okay. What did communication look like between you and your parents? Did you talk to them? Did you tell them about your day? Did they ask you about your day? And did that type of parenting work for you? So however your parents were as parents, did that work for you as a kid? And now looking back as an adult and as a parent yourself, did that work for you, their parenting style? So just take maybe a minute, just think about it, think about your own childhood, think about your parents and what they did and how they parented you, okay? I know, don't worry. Okay? All right. So now you've had a minute to think about it, think about your own childhood. Now I want you to think about yourself. So what type of parent are you? Okay? So think about these questions. How are you parenting your child? Is it similar or different than how you were parented and how you grew up in your childhood? What did it look like? What does it look like now? What are some obstacles, if any, that are keeping you from parenting maybe the way you want to parent? Because I think before we had kids, we all maybe had an idea of what kind of parent we were going to be. And maybe that's not the type of parent we are now, and that's okay. So like, what are some things that are keeping you from being that parent? Just take a moment to think about that. And how do you feel about that? How does that make you feel? Okay. All right, so now that we're in that mindset, the reason I did these exercises is because we are our experiences, right? We are who we are because of what we experienced, how we saw things, how we view things, right? How we dealt with things. That's who made us who we are as a person. And who we are as a person affects who we are as a parent as well, right? And so our childhood, that all affected us in some way. And so as a parent, you kind of take those things that your parents did and those things that you experienced, and then you either change it, you do it similarly, you do it differently, right? You kind of adapt based on your situation, right? So today we're going to talk about parenting styles, as I said. And so what is a parenting style? It's basically our attitudes, our beliefs, and our strategies that we use to parent our kids, right? It's a different style. We all have different styles of personality, and we all have different styles of parenting, okay? So we're going to talk about the parenting styles, and the parenting styles are based on a framework that I'll repeat throughout the different styles. And that framework is based on responsiveness and demandingness, which I don't even know if demandingness is a word, but basically the level of demand, okay? So how responsive you are to your child's needs, how quickly you respond and how you respond, and then what your demand is to your child. So what's your expectation for your child? Do you have high expectations? Do you have low expectations? We're going to call that demandingness, okay? So we're going to think about that framework through all the different parenting styles that we go through. And I want you to keep it in mind. Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay.
اوكي زيكم. الملخص ان هنتكلم النهارده على اساليب التربيه وانواع الاهالي المختلفه في التربيه. تينا كانت بتقول ان كلنا بنتعلم من الطرق اللي احنا شفناها في حياتنا وخبراتنا المسبقه، الطريقه اللي اهالينا ربتنا بيها، ده كله مع لما احنا كبرنا والخبرات اللي اكتسبناها في الحياه، كل ده بيندمج سوا وبيبقى قدامنا اختيارين، يا اما نطبق نفس الطريقه اللي اتربينا بيها، يا اما في بعض الاحيان بنغيرها. هي برضو اتكلمت ان بيبقى في حاجتين، في جزء اللي هو ايه التوقعات اللي انا متوقعها من عيالي، ايه الحاجات اللي انا مستني منهم ينفذوها او يدوهاني، والطريقه اللي احنا بنستجوب بيها او بنستجيب للعيال بمتطلباتهم وفي كل التعاملات اللي بينا اللي هي الريسبونسفنس اند demand.
Perfect, thank you. So to talk about to just introduce the 4 styles, the 4 styles are authoritative, authoritarian, permissive, and uninvolved, okay? So those are the 4 types of parenting styles that we're going to talk about, and we're going to go into each one and explain what they are. Not only explain what they are, but also explain how that impacts your child in the future, in the long run, okay? And as we're, I'll just stop there. So also, this chart shows you the expectation and the responsiveness. So some have high expectations, low responsiveness. Some have low expectations, low responsiveness. So we're going to go through that as we go through each style, but this is just a chart to show you the different ones and how they relate. Also, responsiveness is sometimes also called warmth. So like how warm and nurturing you are with your child, okay? So the first one that we're going to go through is called authoritarian, okay? So the authoritarian parenting is high expectation and low warmth. So that means you have very high expectations for your child. You want them to excel and exceed, but the warmth is very low, so you're not as responsive to your child, okay? Usually this is one-way mode of communication. So do as I say, right? Don't ask questions because I said so, right? So that sort of mentality a little bit. The rules are very strict, as I said. There's very high expectations. They're expected to follow. There's not a lot of room for dialogue. There's not a lot of room for conversation. So for example, if I were to come home and I say, Mom, I want to go to my friend's house, and she says no, and I say, but why? And she says, because I said so. Or she might say, Tab, inshallah, bukra, we'll see. Okay, we'll talk about it. You're not like just kind of zahla. She wants to just get me done with this conversation, right? So it's kind of this high expectation again, but there's not a lot of communication. There's not a lot of dialogue. It's not two-way. It's one way. Also, if you make a mistake, it's often met with punishment. So here, discipline is used as a punishment. It's not a tool. It's used as a punishment. And as we said, it tends to be less nurturing, limited flexibility. So that's kind of the gist, right, of the authoritarian parent. Again, you don't need to understand. You just need to listen and comply with my rules, right, and listen to everything I say.
اوكي، الاربع انواع هما السلطوي والاستبدادي، كلام بالعربي كده له معنى تاني خالص، ها، والمتساهل والغير متورط او يعني اللي مش involved. بالنسبه لاول نوع اللي هو السلطوي اللي احنا بنتكلم فيه ده بيبقى التوقعات عاليه قوي والدفء والحب واي مظاهر للمشاعر منخفضه جدا. من ضمن الحاجات برضو انه بيبقى طريقه واحده للتواصل، الاهل يتكلموا والعيال عليهم يطيعوا، في صرامه جامده جدا في البيت، في معايير عاليه قوي للاطفال، مفيش اي مجال للتواصل او الحوارات الكتيره، واي خطأ بيتعمل بيستقبل بعقاب على طول.
Okay, so with that in mind, do you have ideas on what that effect would be on a child? How if a child was raised with just an authoritarian parent, just that type of parenting? There are some pros and cons, okay? So some of the results of that type of parenting is that the child be very well behaved. They probably listen to rules, right? Because they know the consequences of any misbehavior. So they're probably very well behaved. They follow instructions very closely. They're very precise. But there's also some negatives of this type of, if it's just solely this type of parenting, okay? So some of those negatives of, there could be higher levels of aggression or anger. There could be shyness. There could be difficulty making their own decisions because most of the decisions have been made for them, right? Parents have said, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing. There's no independence, right? So they might not be able to make their own decisions. They might have low self-esteem because of that. So if your whole life you're not given that opportunity to make your decisions and make your choices, you might have low self-esteem. You might not feel confident to be able to do that. And you might also, later on in life, once you do have that freedom, you might rebel, right? So my parents were so strict, and then when I got older and I had the opportunity, I was gonna rebel, right? These are not to say, these are not like, if you do this, then this, right? This is just an example and a general idea of the outcomes of children who are raised strictly in this type of parenting, okay? And sometimes also kids under this type of parenting can have more anxiety and can be less happy, like just not as happy and have that sort of anxiety all the time, okay? Do you guys have any question about this type of parenting so far? Yeah.
I don't have a question, but I'm totally raised as this for 10 years because my father was a judge and my mom was a pediatrician.
Oh, wow.
So we were on a rule, on a very
Like you were raised like that, yeah. I think I was too. I think I was too. I think it's cultural. Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and there's no explanation. Like, help me understand. You know, I'm curious. I'll follow your rules, but I want to understand. So I think it's very much cultural. I think, especially people who are, like I think about my parents who came here to a new country and were probably scared of a lot of things, and so they had all these rules because they were scared. But then I also think about their parents, like what was their childhood like? I always wonder that. What were my parents' childhood like? Because I'm sure that also affected them too, you know? It's just something I'm always thinking about. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. The next type of parenting is permissive parenting, okay? So this one is high warmth, so you're very nurturing and warm and responsive, but there's very low expectations, okay? So the threshold is very low for what you expect from your child and what you want from your child. Again, you're very warm and nurturing, you love, you care, all of those things, but you don't have expectations for your child. So there's few rules. These types of parents tend to avoid conflict. So just like, you know, I don't want to fight, so you do whatever you want, basically, right? There is open communication, so that's a good thing, right? You have open communication with your child, and that's, again, that warm and nurturing type of parenting is there. And you let them navigate situations by themselves. So, okay, you want to make that choice? Okay, and then you got to deal with whatever consequences they come with, okay? So, okay, you're gonna do this. I don't think you should, but I'm gonna let you do it, and then you're gonna deal with whatever comes with it afterward, okay? And because of that low expectation, there's often not a lot of discipline. So there's not a lot of like discipline afterward, like as a consequence to whatever they do or for the choices they make. And this type of parent tends to take on more of like a friend than an authority figure, right? So we've talked about that a lot before. Like, am I my child's friend? Am I my child's parent? Like, where is that line? So this type of parent is more like a friend, and they have that open communication, which again is great. But there are some things that are lacking that could affect the child as well, okay? So the results of this type of parenting, of permissive parenting, first of all, it can lead to unhealthy habits. So for example, if your child has unmonitored snacks, right, your child's probably not gonna make the healthiest choices, right? So they might make unhealthy choices. Or if they can choose however long they can be on screens, for example, they might not make a great choice because they're kids, right? So they're making all these choices, which is great. You want them to be independent, but they're also not dealing with any of those consequences in real time of what those long-term effects are. So they have all this freedom, and they can make all these decisions, but again, they're not having those consequences. Overall, the research says they tend to have good self-esteem because they kind of have that independence to make choices and things like that. And they have pretty good social skills, so they're able to make friends and set boundaries and things like that. But they can also be impulsive, or they can be demanding. They can be selfish because they're thinking about themselves and what they want, and that freedom of I can do whatever I want whenever I want it. And they also struggle with self-regulation, because if you're always getting what you want when you want it, you don't know how to deal with struggle, right? You don't know how to deal with, like, I can't have this right now, so I'm going to try to deal with it or cope with it. You don't have those skills. You don't have those coping skills, okay? So, again, like self-regulation and self-control. It also could affect their academics. It could affect, their friendships in those ways. If you're a selfish friend, it could affect your friendships in those ways. So those are some of the results of a permissive parenting.
اوكي الاطفال بتوع الاهالي السلطويين بسرعه بيطلعوا عيال مؤدبه جدا، دايما بيسمعوا الكلام مطيعين خالص، بيتبعوا كل التعليمات، لكن ما بيبقى عندهم نوع من الخجول، ما بيقدروش يتكلموا عن مشاعرهم، ما بيقدروش يفصحوا عن اللي جواهم. بيبقى عندهم كمان صعوبة في اتخاذ القرارات، ملقلقين جدا، ما بيقدروش هم اللي يتصدروا في أي موقف. بيبقى عندهم نوع من أنواع الانهيار في السيلف ايمج، يعني عدم احترام للذات للنفس، ما فيش احترام لنفسهم، بيبقى عندهم تداني يعني للذات. لما بيكبروا كتير والحرية بتبقى مطيعة ليهم، في بعض الأحيان الكتيرة بيتمردوا على الأهل أول ما الفرصة تتيح ليهم. النوع التاني من الأهل اللي احنا بنتكلم عليه دلوقتي اللي هم المتساهل، دول لذاذ جدا، أصدقاء لأصحابهم، في حوار أكتر بكتير قوي في البيت، لكن مفيش قوانين قوي، بيسيبوا العيال ياخدوا هم قرارات لنفسهم ويشربوا نتيجة اللي هيحصل، وما بيحطوش بعديها أي نوع من أنواع I got blocked. Consequences I guess yeah. النتيجة يعني ما بيبقاش في نوع من أنواع الضبط جوه البيت، يعني خلاص النتيجة في المدرسة اتصرفت، خلاص خليها في المدرسة يعني. وما بيكونش في تساهل جامد قوي في اي قرار هم عايزينه بياخدوه. ده بيربي في العيال حتة عادات غير كويسة او غير صحية، لان هم اللي بياخدوا القرارات وهم اللي عندهم الوقت وبيعرفوا يتحايلوا على الاهل كويس. مفيش حدود او معاقبة، هي الكلمة اللي انا كنت بدور عليها. في حرية اجتماعية كبيرة قوي، عشان كده العيال دي عندهم صحاب وناجحين وعندهم رؤية داخلية عن نفسهم كويسة. لكن مع كل ده ما بيبقاش فيه نوع تنظيم ولا للعصبية، ولا بيبقى فيه كمان انغلاق ذاتي أكتر، فبيبقى عندهم أنانية كبيرة جدا.
Okay. The next type of parenting that we're going to talk about is uninvolved parenting, which is basically just what it sounds like. It's a parent who's not involved, right? So this one is low warmth and low expectations. So just a parent that's not engaged with their children. Lots of freedom, as you can imagine. If a parent is not engaged, the child can do whatever they want. Very much hands-off approach. They'll fulfill their child's basic needs, so they'll feed them, they'll take care of them, they'll take them to school. But as far as communication and learning about your child and spending time with your child, that's not what they're doing, right? So they're emotionally not attached and they're not engaged. And they don't have a specific disciplinary style. So again, there's not a lot of discipline or consequences, because there's not a lot of, this type of parent might not really know what's going on all the time, because the child has freedom and does what they want, and there's not a lot of checking in. The parent might be distracted or unavailable, but either way, they're an uninvolved parent. Limited communication and limited nurturing and limited expectations, just as we said, low warmth and low expectation, okay? So children of parents who are uninvolved are resilient, which is a great thing. It's good to be resilient. They are self-sufficient, but remember that it's out of necessity. So it's not out of a natural growth and learning and development. It's out of necessity. So they have to be self-sufficient. They have to be responsible and resilient, because they don't have a choice, right? Their parent is not engaged. Their parent is not there. Also, they might, again, struggle with emotional regulation, because no one's there teaching them how to cope with things and struggle and regulate, so they might struggle with that. Less coping strategies. They might have academic challenges, because no one's checking homework. Did you do your homework? Are you doing your reading? Things like that. And they also might have a hard time maintaining and nurturing relationships, like keeping relationships, because they don't have a good role model of how to do that, right? So we learn a lot from our parents and from the adults in our life. And so if the adult in your life is not showing you what a healthy relationship looks like, you might not have that skill to be able to do it with your peers, okay? The last type of parenting is authoritative parenting, okay? So this one is high warmth and high expectation. Okay, so you have both. You're nurturing, but you're responsive, and you have expectations of your child. Parents and children have a very close and nurturing relationship. They have a very close relationship. There's very clear expectations, there's very clear guidelines, and there's very clear consequences, okay? And as we said before, discipline is not a punishment, but it's a tool to help your child learn consequences and learn about life, right? And to grow in a healthy way. Children are encouraged to have input. So they want to know, hey, what are your goals for this year? And they want their child to communicate with them and set those things together, right? So it's not like, this is what you're doing and I'm not telling you why. It's like, hey, what do you want? What's your input here? Let's decide together, right? So it's more of that relationship. And again, it's good communication. So this type of parenting has the healthiest outcomes for children. Okay, surprise, right? This is the big reveal. This type of parenting is the healthiest type of parenting and has the healthiest outcomes for children. So children who have mostly authoritative parents, they are confident, they're responsible, they can self-regulate, right? They can communicate with their peers, they can express themselves in ways that maybe some other peers don't know how to. They have good social outcomes, they're good academically. So overall, they have better outcomes than the other parenting styles. But the one thing about this is that it requires a lot of patience, not just from the child, but also from the parent, right? So if you can imagine being this type of parent all the time, you'd have to have a lot of patience, you'd have to have a lot of self-regulation, a lot of coping strategies yourself, so that one, you could model it for your child, but also be able to deal with your child, because sometimes they drive you crazy, and sometimes, you know, you're not always able to have that, you're not always able to maintain that style with them. But they're able to excel academically, they're able to do well when you have this type of parenting style, okay? Does anyone have any questions about the 4 parenting styles? No, okay. Do you want to translate?
اوكي النوع الثالث كان الاهل غير المتورطين. هي اهل مسحوبين خالص من المسؤوليه، ماشيين شارين دماغهم بالبلدي. دول الاهل اللي هم انا شغلتي اكلك واشربك واوصلك واجيبك. العلاقه كلها علاقه تصرفات ما بيننا، لكن ما فيش علاقه صداقه، ما فيش حوار، ما فيش عمق، ما فيش دفء، ما فيش اي نوع من اي ادراك للي بيحصل في حياه العيال دول. فبيبقوا مسحوبين تماما من حياتهم، وكتير قوي بيبقوا مش داريانين ايه اللي بيحصل في حياه العيال. طبعا بسبب الحكايه دي هم اساسا مش فاضيين علشان يحطوا قرارات لو عملت كذا هيحصل كذا او بالتالي العيال بيطلعوا عندهم مرونة جامدة جدا. العيال الحاجة الاختراع زي ما بنقول، فالعيال هي اللي بتعلم نفسها بنفسها بسبب احتياجهم انهم ينجحوا يسلكوا كده. هم اللي بيبتدوا يعلموا نفسهم الحاجات دي. بيبقى عندهم اكتفاء ذاتي في حاجات كتيرة قوي بدافع الضرورة، لكن بيبقى عندهم جمود عاطفي شوية، وما بيقدروش يمشوا مع الحاجات المنظمة، لأن ما عندهمش حد أرشدهم أو وراهم إزاي ممكن تخش في علاقات كويسة، أو يبقى عندك فهم لإيه التوقعات اللي بتيجي عن طريقة التعاملات البشرية مع بعض. فبالتالي ما بيعرفوش يعملوا صداقات ناجحة كتير بسبب قلة الإرشاد ده. آخر نوع هو النوع الأوثوريتيف. دول أكتر ناس بيدوا إرشادات في حوار مستمر مع العيال، بيقعدوا مع الأولاد يحطوا أهداف، بيسألوا الأولاد عن فكرهم، عن مستقبلهم شكله إيه، نفسهم في إيه، بيبقوا متداخلين في علاقة قوية مع بعض، لكن في نفس الوقت عندهم حدود واضحة جدا، توقعات واضحة جدا للعقاب في حالة كسر النظم الأسرية اللي موجودة، ومفيش اختلاط ما بين دورهم كأهل ودورهم كأصدقاء. طبعا ده أفضل نوع للعيال. العيال بتطلع ناجحة جدا في كذا اتجاه في الحياة، بيبقوا شاطرين دراسيا. العيال دي بتعرف تتعامل مع كل النظم اللي في الحياة، وذر نظم صداقات أو علاقات شخصية أو مثلا في شغل أو كده، لأن فاهمين يعني إيه أنا لازم ألتزم بحاجات، وبعدين في حاجة ممكن تحصل نتائج لو أنا ما التزمتش، فبيبقى عندهم صحة نفسية وجسدية وبينجحوا.
Thank you. Okay. Does anyone have questions about the 4 types of parenting? Do you guys remember what they are? Yeah. Oh, this one? It's from the parents to the kids. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about them? Okay, we're going to do an activity, okay? I want you guys to divide up into 4 groups, just like wherever you're sitting. I'm going to give you one of the parenting styles, and I'm going to give you a situation, and then you're going to act it out, and then we have to guess which one it is, okay? So get in little groups, doesn't have to, whatever groups, you can do it in rows, anything, okay? So I'm going to give one to each row. So find a group. Here you go. You're welcome. Here you go. Yeah, you can join a group. Yep, join a group. Okay, here you go. You can join a group. You can join a group together, okay? I'll give you guys like maybe like 7 minutes.
How are you? You look good.
Oh, thank you. I didn't, but thank you.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
How are you?
How are you doing?
I missed
How's
you.
your program going? I missed you too.
Good. Yeah.
The scenario is okay. This is the scenario. Okay. So the scenario is your child comes home from school with a bad grade. Okay. So act out the scenario, parent and child, based on the parenting type that you got. Okay. What? Sorry. Okay. The scenario is your child comes home with a bad grade.
هبة 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 هبة. كل واحد فيكم لازم يطلع بسيناريو قصير هيتمثل، خلاص؟ على حسب نوع التربية اللي انتوا اخدتوه. فسيناريو وحوار صغنن كده عشان هتمثلوه.
Yeah, one per group. One per group. Guys, almost, is everybody ready? Is everyone ready? Yeah? Okay. Okay, is everyone ready to act out? Yes? Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first, guys? You're not ready? How much more time do you need? You just started. Okay, we have a group that's ready. Huh? Second? Okay. Third? Come up, you think? Yeah? Okay. All right, we're going to start, guys. We're going to start. Group 1. Group 1, come on up. You're group 1, right? Five more minutes? Fine, that's fine. I'll give you 2 more minutes. I'll give you 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. Okay? Time's up, guys. Time's up. We still have a whole another half of the lecture to do. We're only halfway done. Yeah. All right, group 1. Come on up. Okay. Do you have your paper? No?
We have the role play here, right?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, so what do you have to
Yeah. Okay, but they're going to guess. They're going to guess, and you have to tell them if they're right. Okay?
Guess what?
They're going to guess what parenting style you are.
Okay.
Okay?
But authoritative is إرشادي ولا authoritarian?
Ready?
I'll try.
Okay, here you go. Okay, so we have group 1 ready. Okay, group 1. So your child comes home with a bad grade.
All right, so a child came home with a bad grade. Guys, are you listening to us?
Guys, pay attention.
نعم؟ We talking Arabic? اوكي خلاص هو موقف بيقول ان ابني جه معاه باد جريد او يعني مش الاكسبكتد ان هو يجيبها فده كان frustrating فطبعا الكونسيكونس انا خدت بعض او اللي احنا فكرنا فيه انه he's in high school that's what we thought and at that time people are or kids are very desperate to learn how to drive so he had a permit to drive but he didn't have the experience to sit right next to his parent I mean like انا اسف انا قلبت بانجليزي فهو بيتعلم ان هو يسوق بس لازم طبعا 6 شهور فقررنا انه لا مش هتاخد الساعات بتاعه البيرنت جايدنس او الاوبزرفيشن بتاعه البيرنتس اللي هي انت بتسوق جنبك حد من الاهل الا لما تثبت ان انت worth it وتعمل لنا دوت انك تصلح الجريدز اللي انت جايين لي بيها الباد ديت فدي من ضمن الحاجات انه ليميت او نقلل الفتره او نمنع الفتره اللي هيتعلم فيها البراكتس على السواقه. وانا يعني احنا شفنا ان ده نوع من البانشمنت يعني ومن غير مناقشه. فيعني ده الحاجه فطبعا يعني اظن بسيطه. هو هو الدين بيقول ايه؟ واضحه يعني. لا ما هو الفكره ان انتوا هتقولوا لنا which style is that? Which parental style is that? لا we have to فكروا شويه. Which parental style is the one that we thought about doing it. We imposed يعني قررنا ان احنا نمنعه انه يتعلم السواقه جنب parent لغايه ما يثبت او لغايه ما يكوركت او يصلح الموضوع ده. Which parental يعني اللي يعرف يقول.
So no communication, consequence, no communication. Okay, which one is it? Huh? Authoritarian. Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree? Yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Is it high expectation? Is it high expectation? How about warmth? Low warmth. So it's what? Authoritarian. Good job. Very good. Is that what you had? Authoritarian? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. All right. Next. Number 2. Come on up.
Hello. طيب اقول احنا توقعنا ان هو مش حد كبير، انه حد في ثيرد او فيرست جريد، يعني طفل صغير وجاي بيقول لمامته في البيت ان انا انه في الماس مثلا معظم اصحابي جابوا 5 ستارز وانا جايب 2 بس. فهي ماما هتقول له لا عادي كويس خالص ان انت جبت 2 يعني. اكيد في حد تاني ما جابش حاجه. تعال نشوف بقى هنعمل ايه، ولا شوف هناكل ايه النهارده. يا تعالى كل حاجه اتفرج على نفسك يعني، بس واليوم خلص.
What parenting style is that? Which one? The blue one or the orange one? Okay, sorry, the last one or the second to last one? Permissive or uninvolved? You think uninvolved? Do you guys agree? You agree? Okay. So it was low expectation but high warmth. Low expectation but high warmth, right? She said, "Oh, you did good. You did better. Let's go find what you're going to eat," right? So low expectations but high warmth. Permissive. Who thinks permissive? Who thinks permissive? Who thinks uninvolved? What is it? Permissive. Good job. Good job. Okay. All right, who's next? Who's next? Come up. Come. Anybody, come up. Come on. Anybody. You can do it from there if you want. You want to do it from there?
طب حد فيكم طيب؟
انا عايزه افهم انتوا
لا انا هقول ايه الاوثوريتاريان هنقول ايه؟ ايوه يا انتوا عايزين ايوه ما اتكلمناش في موقف. ما اتكلمناش في موقف.
لا اتكلمنا في بتاع
بصي احنا كنا متلخبطين، بصي احنا كنا متلخبطين بين حاجتين
يعني
يعني.
ادينها الحاجه الاولى اللي قلنا مثلا لو بتاعت السيطره اللي هو قول على هنا المتسلط الاول البالانس المتسلط.
قلت ممكن نتكلم
اوكي
هو
اوكي الله يسامحكم. حد يا جماعه يتكلم او لازم انا اللي اقول؟ ربنا يخليك. هتكلم اقول ايه؟ هتكلم اقول على ايه؟ يا اوكي انا مش عارفه اقول ايه اصلا. اوكي احنا الستايل بتاعنا كان اوثورايتاريان. اوكي اب وام قالوا لابنهم لما خلص الهاي سكول عايزينك تجيب درجة كويسة عشان تدخل الكلية اللي احنا يعني نفسنا فيها، وما ادلهوش فرصة انه هو يعني يعبر عن الكلية اللي هو حاببها. يعني هو عايز يدخل كلية معينة بس هم مش شايفين مش هي دي اللي هتديله مستقبل، مش هي دي اللي هتديله فيوتشر. فهم قالوا له بص ده احنا يعني نفسنا تدخل مثلا كلية الطب وتجيب مجموع كبير وهو ده اللي احنا عايزينه منك. فهو لما نجح وجاب مجموع كبير أصروا ان هو يدخل كلية الطب مش الكلية اللي هو نفسه فيها واللي كان بيحلم بيها. ما اهتموش بوجهة نظره، ما اهتموش برأيه، ما اهتموش مهاراته ولا اي حاجة، اهتموا بس ان هم ينفذوا كلامهم عليه ويلغوا شخصيته طبعا.
Okay, which one was it?
Which one was it?
Which one was it? Authoritative? Authoritarian? Authoritarian? Yes? Okay. All right, last group, quickly. Someone come do it. Huh? Quickly. It's a
ما بعرفش. بص هو القصه بتاعتنا احنا صغيره سمول ستوري ان الاب والام هم شبه بعض يعني اولموست شبه بعض في كل حاجه. الواد لا توأم. الواد داخل البيت مثلا يقول له I got the full marks in science مثلا I got like full marks in whatever biography anything. فاول ما يقول لابوه الكلمه دي فابوه يقول له سيبني دلوقتي انا ورايا شغل. هيدخل على ماما مثلا ماما تقول له روح لبابا هو فاضي انا مش بعرف بعمل ايه في المطبخ. فزي كده الواد كل ما يجيب حاجه او خبر حلو او اي حاجه لابوه وامه ابوه وامه مش فارق معاهم يعني اتس اوكي. لا يفرق is got a full grade or like got like full marks it doesn't matter تحت وفوق.
very good. Okay, what is it? Uninvolved. Very good. Good job, everybody. Excellent. Okay, so I have a whole nother, I have other slides about attachment that we're not going to do. I just want to tell you one thing before we finish, because I know the kids are going to come out soon. What I want to tell you is that none of us are one type of parenting style, okay? Chances are, sometimes in a day, I'm all for parenting styles in 24 hours, right? It depends on a lot of things. So I just want you to remember that when you think back about your childhood and you say, I know my parents were mostly this type, think about what you want your children to look back and think about you. You can be all four at different times of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year, depending on the situation, right? Every kid is different. But just remember that the one that you want to try to be the most is the authoritative, okay? That's the one that has the healthiest outcomes, okay? And then the last thing, which I stole this from Diana because it was so funny. So it's basically like we want our kids to have everything in the world, right? We want everything good for them. We want them to have all the success, but it has to be within reason. And so this comic strip says, the same thing, I want everything for you, I want you to have a wonderful future and all this stuff, and then the child says, can I have ice cream? And the dad says no, right? So it has to be within reason, just remember that. So just remember, there's no necessarily good or bad in anything that we're doing. We're all doing our best. And knowing the parenting styles is just about education and informing yourself and being mindful of what you're doing and how it's affecting your child, okay? That's it. That's all I want to close with. I know we're out of time. Do you guys have any questions? Yeah, good job. I'm so proud of you guys. You did great acting. Does anybody? Yes. Yes.
I actually have two different points I want to mention. The first point is sometimes I am an authoritative or authoritarian kind of parenting, and I see the friends of my children are uninvolved. So I started to feel how they leave their kids like this unclean, how. So sometimes between me and myself I say this uninvolved pattern of parenting, I can't tolerate it for their kid. I don't like how they, sometimes I ask a parent, which grade are your child in? He told me, no, I don't know the grade of my child. So I started between me and myself, how can you be a parent and bring a child to the world and you don't even bother yourself to know which grade he is in? This is the first point. Sometimes we can't tolerate in our behavior that the other doing it. The other point, my parents were really very strict on something like this. So sometimes they go toward strictly like cleanliness. So me, myself, I didn't like to be the same kind of this obsession about cleanliness. So I totally go the different, not for, just to be the opposite of what they forced me to do. Cleaning, wash your hand before you eat, but wash your doing cleaning obsession make me, I go to the opposite, not only for doing it right or wrong, but just to be opposite. Yes, to rebel from it. So I tried when I'm going with my children now parenting, please Marley, don't bother yourself with washing your hand. It's okay, because this was my point, in my head. So this is sometimes our parenting affect the parenting for our child. This is the 2 points.
But it's good that you know it. You know it, and that way, if you want to change it, you can. Or if you don't want to, you don't have to. Yeah.
This is the 2 points.
Yeah.
I remember.
It's true. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I think we're done. Are we doing a raffle or no? Are we doing a raffle? Yeah. Oh. Oh. Am I doing the raffle? Okay. 643-7212. 7212. No? Okay. 7193. 7193. Oh, there you go. Okay, 7203. 7203. No? 7195. Oh. Winna. Hey, babe. How was it? You want to say this one? Sure.
What is it?
7207.
7207.
7207.
Good.
7207. Okay, 7206. Oh, someone got it? Okay. It's good. All right.
Last announcement is this Saturday. This Saturday is the 5K. What? Yeah, all done. One more? Okay, we're going to do one more, but only if you come to the 5K. 7179. 7179. Congratulations. This Saturday is the 5K, the Koinonia Ventures 5K, Koinonia Ventures is the charity for the Diocese of New York and New England. They're a charity that helps people directly in Egypt. They've been doing this for several years, 2017, I think. You don't have to run. You can walk. You don't have to walk. You can just donate. You will get a free t-shirt. It's really easy. I promise you, it's really easy. It's lots of fun. There'll be free coffee and snacks and fun. So please sign up or donate. Again, you don't have to run. Okay, like you can walk. You can even sign up to walk and then just come and hang out. You don't even have to walk. You could just come and like have coffee. It's fine. So please, here, I'm gonna zoom in. Please sign up and just come have coffee. That's all. Or run and walk. All right, thank you.
Six, seven.
We're gonna pray.
Take your card. Take your card.
What is it? Did you get them?
Who's gonna pray? I'm not. Someone's gonna pray for us. Anybody? Moros.
Moros. Pray.
بسم الله والابن والروح القدس الواحد امين. نشكرك يا رب يسوع المسيح على كل حال، المجد لكل حال وفي كل حال. يا رب ادينا نعمه وادينا بركه يا رب، وحل في بيوتنا يا رب. ادينا حكمه يا رب في تربيه اولادنا، وادينا حكمه في حياتنا يا رب. ادينا حكمه ازاي نربي اولادنا في المسيح وفي الكنيسه يا رب، بشفاعه ستنا العذراء ام النور، رئيس الملاك جليل ميخائيل القديس ماري مرقس القديسه رفقه ولادها الخمسه. يجعلنا مستحقين أن نقول بالشكر يا أبانا الذي في السماوات قدس اسمك، ليأتي ملكوتك، تكن مشيئتك كما في السماء كذلك على الأرض. خبزنا الذي غدا أعطينا اليوم، واغفر لنا ذنوبنا كما نغفر نحن أيضا لمن يسيء إلينا، ولا تدخلنا في تجربة لكن نجينا من الشرير بالمسيح يسوع ربنا، لأن لك الملك القوة والمجد الأبد آمين.
الميفا بتاعت الولاد، الميفا يس، الميفا بتاعت الكوليدج عشان الفاينانشال والحاجات اللي حاجات الكوليدج عشان تجهزوا عيالكم، والاسبوع اللي بعده هيبقى في اجتماع، والاسبوع اللي بعده تكمله الميفا. اوكي، هنزل لكم الاعلان النهارده. ماشي يس.